Hey everybody, welcome to Blindfremen's 3-color EDH cube. This is a 600 count cube intended for multiplayer commander play. There are regular cubes that are built for 8-player, 15 card pack drafts. This is a different style of cube. You can build cubes any way you want. I have built mine in this way, and I'll quickly explain it here. I'm going to try to keep this video relatively short. So here we go. So I'm just going to kind of scroll down the description here. I might not read it word for word. Sorry about I'm doing like the PowerPoint thing where I'm reading off the slide, but we're just going to make it simple here. So the cube size is 600. You have 65 cards of each color, 110 multicolor, which means you have the 11 of each color for that. Then you have 80 colorless, 85 non-basic land, and 50 commanders. And it's intended for 4 players. You can play it with 5 or 3 if you really want, but it's intended for 4. The draft packs. So you start out with one pack of 5 commander cards. Then you do 11 packs of 7 cards with cube packs. So you got a 1x5 commander pack and 11x7 cube packs. In total, you got 20 out of 50 commanders will be drafted, and 308 out of 600 cube cards will be drafted, assuming you have 4 players. The deck size will be 70, including your commander. Playtime, I'm aiming for about 2 hours, 2.5 hours. That might be a little bit optimistic, but the intention of this cube is not to spend all day doing the same exact thing. So hopefully you can get that playtime, including the draft, down to about 2 hours. That's the goal. If I can get it 2 hours, that's perfect. And especially like the more you play it with people and you figure out what's in the cube and like the custom commanders, which that'll be a separate video. But once you figure things out, the draft goes quicker, deck building goes quicker, gameplay goes quicker, and you can knock it out a little bit quicker than this. So how to play? So you start out with your 5 card commander pack and you draft 5 cards normally. You pick a card. You know how to draft. The commander list is here. This is actually a placeholder list. I'll quickly show it. As you can see, I sent it to the overview. I even wrote on here it's a placeholder. I'm going to try to find a way to get the images into the description box there or on here. I don't know if Cube Cobra has yet added the feature to like customize your images on here. I think there's a way to like cheat it where like you can label it as this, but it shows a different picture. I'd have to figure that out. I can ask the devs on that on the Discord. By the way, Cube Cobra is awesome. Everybody should join their Discord. But yeah, like this is just kind of placeholders. Some of them are actually in there, but because the problem with the current crop of commanders is that you end up with a lot of cards that don't really fit into my cube strategy, which I'll explain below. But they work out okay. So I have a lot of proxy, like custom commanders that I get from like the custom Discords and Reddit, and I actually built a whole bunch myself too because I'm like, okay, I couldn't find what I needed, so I built some. May or may not be overpowered in real life, but in the cube they are fine. We'll get into that in a separate thing. So I already gone too long on that, but anyway, there's the commander list. So you start out with your commander pack, and those are actually differently colored sleeves. I have this cube built in real life. So you draft that. So you have 5 commanders. At the end of the draft, you'll have one of those 5 commanders as your commander. You cannot use any of the other commanders in your deck. They have different colored sleeves. So the cube sleeves are one color, the commander sleeves are another color. Makes everything simple, makes it easy. It makes you make a choice, too. You're not just playing the exact same cards every time. So yeah, then players, you draft 11 packs of 7 random cube cards, not including any of the commanders, and you will end up with 77 cards in your pool plus the 5 commanders. You select a commander from the pool of 5 and build a 70-card deck. You get your commander plus 69 cards using any number of basic lands and any of the 77 cards you have drafted. Recommend 24 to 27 lands. Usually I start with 25, which is about equivalent to about 36 in a regular EDH deck. You might even want to go to 26 lands, to be honest. I mean, depending on your curve, depending on your fixing. 26 is not unreasonable. Usually what happens with the non-basic lands in this cube as well is like everything is drafted. There's no starter packs. There's no hand-holding. You don't get a Soul Ring automatically. You don't get a Command Tower automatically. I'm just trying to keep everything simple and streamlined so that those cards are in the cube. You may draft them if you see them, and everything is a 1 of. So only one player might get a soul ring. So there's like a 50% chance it's even opened. So yeah, the games tend to play out a little bit. It's not slow because the cube CMC is like 3.3. I have banned cards in there. I have Moxen. I have Black Lotus. So that kind of balances out the lack of like 5 soul rings or 4 soul rings. So yeah. Anyways, you'll usually end up with roughly 7 non-basic lands that you can play in your colors in this cube. And as I said before, this is a 3-color EDH cube. So each player is forced into exactly 3 colors. It's kind of like Khans of Tarkir, a little bit. It's not. There's not really any connection there, but 3-color shards, or shards of Alara, I guess. So there you go. Yeah. Then you do a free-for-all multiplayer game. You can play 2 games if you want, and you find the winner there, and that's how you play. I do have silver border cards. I have banned cards, custom cards. But other than that, the normal Commander rules apply. This is a Commander cube again, so regular cubes are also very fun, but I only really play Commander. I do like regular drafting too, so I've drafted real cubes as well. So yeah, main archetypes in this cube we have tokens, ETB, Bant, Flicker. I said Bant. Bant is like one of the Flicker colors. You can play white, blue, Flicker. You can actually play Flicker in any of the color combinations if you want. In some capacity, kind of. I'm trying to think of one that wouldn't work. No white, no blue. So yeah. Anyway, you also have Reanimator archetype. You have just good stuff, and then like a very Spellslinger is not even really secondary. It's kind of tertiary. But there's a few cards that care about, like Panoptic Mirror is in the cube, and that's a banned card. It's on the bottom here. Yeah, Panoptic Mirror. This is a banned card. I think they banned it because of like extra turn cards, and it's just like too repetitive, and you can create like locks and stuff like that. I'd be curious if this card ever got unbanned in EDH. I don't know how bad it would be. Like you can Armageddon with it, which would be really annoying, I guess. So yeah, well, there you go. I don't have Armageddon in the cube, so no worries there. And yeah, here we go. Notes: you can start the game at 30 life. If you choose. I actually have found that is a pretty reasonable starting point, 30 life. It also speeds up the play time, so you get a little bit of a more bite-sized play time. You're not playing for 3+ hours, which is good. You play 5 players, you play 3 players. Totem's an interesting game mode. It's kind of like a triangle type of thing. There's a link in the description here. And I got to the 11x7 card pack rule based on, I started at 9x9, which is 81 cards drafted. I found out that 77 cards drafted is still plenty of cards to play, like playable cards for your deck, because everybody's 3 colors, so you're playing 3 out of 5 colors. Every card is playable, unless you are just like going crazy and drafting like weird stuff that you can't play. You will have enough playables at all times. So 81 cards I felt was a little bit superfluous. I want people to have to make a choice. I don't want the same cards being cut every time you draft. So 77 I found is a reasonable middle ground. You could go even a little bit lower if you want. You could go 9 packs of 8 cards. That's 72. That might be a little bit low. I don't know about that. That might be a tiny bit low. So 11-7 is good. Plus it's like easy to remember, like 7-11 backwards, kind of. It's not that easy, but anyway. It works out too. Plus, it's like, if you think about it in a regular draft, 15 card packs, you wheel 7 of them, I think. So you wheel less than half. Same idea here. You have a 7 card pack, you wheel less than half, because 4 are drafted, you see 3 from your first pack. So it's a little bit of a similar ratio. And it's more fun because you could open 2 extra packs. You draft fewer cards, but you're opening 2 extra packs, and that's like the funnest part, is like opening that next pack. I really enjoy that. So it's a lot of packs, but I found that like I don't like the idea of drafting like 20 card booster packs. It just feels, I don't know. I think it's fine. It's not bad, but like it just feels like a little bit weird to have the same cards wheeling over and over again. So I wanted to feel like you got your moment to take the card, right? And you got to take it or not take it. So make a decision. All right, and then lastly on this description, and then I'll end the video. The instant win cards like Expropriate, Craterhoof Behemoth, Insurrection, Torment of Hailfire, etc. are intentionally not in the cube to promote a better gameplay experience. I do this just because I want a different game than you would play in a lot of EDH tables. This is intended to be kind of similar to like a draft environment, albeit with very powerful cards, and it literally is a draft environment. So like you're not building infinite combos with Kiki Jiki, you're not Armageddoning the field. The game is going to move along at a reasonable pace, and you're going to have a fun time. There's going to be back and forth. There's going to be interaction. Everyone's going to have a chance to play. That's the idea of this cube, and it's a nice change of pace from regular EDH where everybody's decks are tuned to hell, and you get your super tuned deck, and this is just kind of a fun way to play. I also did not include MDFC double face cards because I don't want to damage sleeves as people remove them and add them back into sleeves. I don't want cards getting damaged. I also don't want to have to double sleeve the cube because I don't want to do that. That adds like a lot more bulk to it. It's a 600 card cube, plus I have land, like a land box. So physically, that would be just like a pain to do that. Double sleeving regular decks, that's one thing. Double sleeving a whole cube plus lands, I have a lot of proxies in here as well. So like the reserve list cards, anything that's like really expensive, I proxy because it's a cube. Other people are handling the cards. I don't want anyone to feel nervous that they're going to like damage anything. I also don't want to feel nervous that something's going to get lost, damaged, stolen, whatever. Not that anybody would steal it, but it could be misplaced, that type of thing. So, I want it to be a chill, fun environment. So there's quite a few proxies. They look good. They're well. I took like printer paper for some of them, so it's like, but you can recognize it across the field. It's a proxy. It's not like a Sharpie thing, so it looks good. Utility lands like Gaia's Cradle and like the flip lands, Phyrexian Tower, stuff like that is not in the queue because it's something that's hard to interact with, and I didn't want to like bog down the list with a whole bunch of strip mines and stuff. So that's kind of the last point there. So yeah, I mean, you basically just have like a lot of fixing. Like all the lands are fixing. There's a couple Bojuka Bog and Scavenger Grounds that are graveyard hate, but those are one-timers. You can't do them multiple times. You can't like abuse it and have an engine. I didn't want land engines. So yeah, here is the list. I'm hoping to get this down to 2-hour gameplay at some point. I will eventually go over this list in detail later on. The list is ever changing, as everybody's cube is. You're never 100% done. New sets come out, and even if they don't, maybe you find a card you want to take out. Like for example, Enclave Cryptologist. I thought I wanted a blue 1-drop. Maybe I'll put Merfolk Looter. Maybe I'll just not have a 1-drop there. There's a lot of stuff that could be better. But yeah, this is a fun little cube. I played it in real life a bunch of times. Had a good time with it. So yeah, there is the first video, the Blindfremen 3-color EDH cube. Please give a follow, and until next time.